Welcome to the Kelly Center. Ahead of the snowstorm. It's so exciting, the first snow of the season, and that's supposed to happen tonight. We'll see. Hopefully it's after 10 o'clock. But thank you all for being here. I'm Tom Kelly from Kelly Music for Life and the Kelly Center. Really appreciate you guys coming out and supporting. Many familiar faces that I've seen before. Mark Lipsky, thank you so much for making this all happen for us. Mark does the comedy shows for us at least 4 a year, and we really appreciate it. He's our comedy guy. So one of the things that we do here at the Kelly Center is we support people with disabilities. Amanda will tell you a little bit more about that, but one of the partnerships we have is with our Community Cup, which is a nonprofit organization that does coffee. They roast it, they package it, and we have a brand here that we call Kelly Center Irish Coffee. So you can pick up a pound and take it home. We have it in whole bean or ground at the counter up there. It's $17 for a full pound, and it goes for a very good cause. So we have that here for you. Have fun tonight. Feel free to laugh. It's a good time. That's a good thing to do. So, all right, I'm going to introduce Amanda, and she'll have some announcements, and we'll get the show started. Thank you for being here.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Amanda. Do we have any first-timers in the room? First time at the Kelly Center. Oh, great. Welcome. Welcome. Hopefully it will not be your last. So we're happy to have you here. Kelly Music for Life is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We have programs for children, teens, and adults, and you can rent the space for private events. We have chair pads in the back for your comfort and a snack and drink vending machine right in the corner there. We are BYOB here at the Kelly Center, which I think is pretty cool. So we just asked for a $5 per drinker donation, and we have cups and ice and everything right over at the counter. Education and experience are central missions to the Kelly Center. We give performance opportunities to young people on our student stage events. So far, we have given live performance opportunities on the Kelly Center stage to over 250 students. Yeah, we're very proud of that. We are also training and hiring students interested in audio-video technology and event management. So far, we have trained and given paid job opportunities to over 50 students. Yeah, tonight our student audio-video techs are Addie and Jack, and tonight's assistant manager is Stella, helping me out at the front. So yeah, they deserve a round of applause as well. Our artist of the month is Melissa Womack. As you can see all of her lovely artwork hanging around. If you are an artist interested in displaying your work, contact us. We have free open jams here, bluegrass jams, Django jazz jam, Irish trad sessions, and open mic night. So come check those out. We have some great shows coming up. Next Friday, Jessie Lowy featuring Katie Henry. Saturday, another student stage featuring teen performers and bands. There might be some mosh pits because that's usually what happens. So come on out for that if you're brave. Tickets are available through our website. We are always adding new shows. Sign up to get our concert announcements and schedule updates at kellycenter.org. We have a great program here called Coffee on the Path. It's coffee and baked goods from Haverford High School Path students with disabilities. The Path program prepares students with disabilities to transition to self-sustaining career life after high school. Since opening last fall, 6 of our Path Cafe students have been hired for paying jobs with Aramark and local businesses. Coffee and fresh muffins are only $1, so stop in to support them. Coffee on the Path is now open 3 mornings a week, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 9 to 11 a.m. Please support the Kelly mission with a donation. We have cash jars, Venmo, PayPal, or QR codes hanging around the room. The Kelly Center is a listening room. Out of respect for our performers and fellow audience members, please silence your phones. In the restrooms that are back, please use paper towels during the performances because the hand dryers are very loud. And also, no flash photography during the show, but feel free to take pictures or videos and post them, but no flash, please. Thank you. Okay, well, we're ready to laugh tonight, so without a doubt, these comedy shows are the best deal around. Thanks to the support of Mark Lipsky, we get to showcase up-and-coming comedians as well as headliners on our stage. These nights are always so much fun. I always look forward to them. So please welcome to the Kelly Center stage in Havertown, Pennsylvania, your MC for the evening, Glenn Freezman.
All right, Havertown, how we doing tonight? All right, well, I gotta tell you, I am thrilled to be here tonight. Absolutely thrilled. First of all, it is the last show 2025 of the comedy. 4 shows a year. It's his last show tonight, so I'm thrilled that he all asked me to host this thing, and I'm thrilled that all you guys came. So please give yourselves a huge round of applause. The reason it's very cool is that I looked at all the other entertainment opportunity you had in Havertown tonight. And I'm thrilled you chose this one. Incredible. So, the last few nights, I almost didn't make it here tonight. The last 3 nights I was working out in Vegas. And I got to the American Airlines counter this morning, and the woman told me my flight was canceled. And I said, listen, I got this big gig tonight in Havertown, Pennsylvania, at the Kelly Center. And I got to get there in the absolute worst possible way. And she told me, well, 2 counters down is Frontier Airlines, and I could just take that. And I'm not telling you Frontier Airlines stinks, but my connecting flight out of Ardmore was on Greyhound. I got on that bus in Greyhound, in Ardmore. And I walked in right next to a woman, and she's carrying her baby. And the bus driver goes, God, that is the ugliest baby I've ever seen. And she happened to sit down next to me. She said, did you hear what he said to me? I said, yeah. She said, I think I'm going to go tell him off. I said, I think you should. I'll watch your monkey for you. So, what's amazing is, seriously, I am celebrating tonight with all of you my 300th night of sobriety tonight. I don't mean in a row. It's kind of like all together, you know what I'm saying? So a couple little things about me. I am half Irish and half Jewish. That means I'm drinking if you're buying. I was at an Irish wedding. Irish people? There you go. You'll love it. I was at an Irish wedding, and the DJ says, find the person that brought you the most comfort in your life, and hold that person, and grab that person, and squeeze that person tight. I'm telling you, that poor bartender, he was nearly crushed to death. And what is all this fuss about same-sex marriage? I was married almost 37 years, and I had the same sex for practically all of them. Any single people here? Single? One guy slow clapping. Flew all the way back from Vegas. I got one. Yeah, I was married a long time. I'm not good at being divorced yet. I'm just not. I'm not comfortable with it. And when people say to me, so who you seeing? I tell them my psychiatrist. I'm at a party the other night. A guy says to me, buddy says to me, so Glenn, all these people, who you with? I said, Verizon. I'll tell you what's crazy. I am so broke after this divorce that when I go on a date now, I actually go to the CVS, I find a GQ magazine. I open it up to that little strip and I rub it all over my body. And the girl says to me, God, you smell great. What are you wearing? I said, GQ, page 17. But I knew do you remember Spin the Bottle?
Of course.
What's your name?
Gene,
right? We're all playing Spin the bottle goes around, it points at you, you have 2 choices. You either have to,
yes,
or,
tell the truth.
all right, well, when you grow up Jewish, you either have to give him $1 or give him a kiss. I bought my first house when I was 14 years old. All right, 36 years of marriage. Every single time my ex-wife, 36 years. Why don't you go out and get a penis enlargement? Why don't you go out and get a penis enlargement? Why don't you go out and get a penis enlargement? Well, I finally did. Her name is Kathy, and she's 29. So I am single now. I am single. I'll tell you, it's a different world. You walk into a restaurant as a single guy, and every hostess looks like the same way. Are you just one? Yeah, I'm just one. But the table for one? No, you just put me in the sink in the kitchen. I'll just eat like a bachelor over your sink. I'm good to go. Because what's strange is I think that every restaurant should have a big table in the middle of the restaurant for all the divorced people. You can meet each other. All the food should be half price because that's all the money we have left. I remember sitting in a restaurant and there was a family sitting behind me. And I hear the husband and the wife are talking, and the wife says, God, you know what, look at that guy. I mean, he's a decent looking guy. I wonder why he's here by himself. I bet you his wife died. And I'm thinking, the dream. Yeah, divorce is crazy, being single is crazy. You know, I'll tell you what, if I ever have to get married again, I don't think I will ever say I do. I'm just gonna say I'll try. I think it's safer. I think it's safer, and I'll be honest with you, I will never get married again. Did you hear these new things called Rent-A-Mate and Lease a Spouse? Two new companies, they compete with each other. You can actually go in, what's your name? Karen, right? Karen and I could go in, and instead of getting married, Karen and I go in, and we just lease each other. You get a 2-year lease, a 3-year lease, a 5-year lease, all makes, all models, all different kinds of warranties. So let's say that 2 years goes by and me and you are like, this isn't really working out. And now I start leaking fluid from places you no longer find attractive. You can just drop me back off again. Just hand me back to the dealership. You do a cute little thing on ManFax. Everyone else that comes after me knows right, that's the way it works. But, Mary, let's say that after a few years, your ass starts looking, right, like a 57 Chevelle that needs like body work and some Bondo. Drop you back off again. Isn't that much easier? I think it's a way easier way of doing it. Way easier than this divorce stuff. My buddy of mine said to me, Glenn, how deep do you actually think a woman's vagina is after this divorce? I said, well, it's deep enough to hold a man's house, his car, and half his money and never get seen again. That's deep. That is deep. Let me think. Something I want to tell you. So, marriage, and divorce and being single. The craziest time of my life. I was married for 36 years in a row. I was 13,497 days in a row. I am telling you, if there's such thing as a 7-year itch, I had the shingles. But there were many things I learned from my wife. I did. I learned that you should never, ever say to your wife, when the hell is dinner going to be on the table? When she's outside mowing our lawn. I know now that when my wife wanted a romantic dinner while she could see the chef and watch the chef prepare her dinner, Chipotle was not what she had in mind. Just saying, it's trying to be real with you, that's all. Just trying to be real. So here's the thing about being married. You know what? I think I'm done with being married. So let me tell you, through it all though, we did manage to have 2 kids. We had 2 kids. We had a daughter and a son. I remember my daughter comes home one day and she says to my wife, on the night that I was conceived, did you really want a boy or did you really want a girl? My wife said, I really only wanted a back rub. She comes home one night with the man of her dreams. We should all meet the man of her dreams. Dad, I love this guy. Be nice to him. Can you be nice to him? Just try to be nice to him. I really like this guy. So this guy comes out, and we go out back, and we're having a drink. And I said, listen, my kid had a pretty good life. Can you tell me how you're going to afford the simple things in life? He goes, Mr. Freezman, you worry too much. God will provide. I said, really? I said, well, how about when you have a kid and you need like diapers and formula and things like that? Mr. Freezman, God will provide. I said, how are you going to buy my daughter a house and insurance and a car? He says, God will provide. I walk out, my wife says to me, what do you think? I said, hey, this guy thinks I'm God. My son, I remember he comes home one day, he was 20 years old, he was in the 8th grade. He comes home, he says, hey, Dad, I am banging a hot senior. I said, big deal, so am I. The poor kid walked in on my wife and I right in the middle of having sex one night. He was like 15 years old, right in the middle. And I just started laughing. He walks out, he slams the door, he leaves, he's all pissed off. He walks out. About a half hour later, I say, you know what, Sharon, I'm going to go in, I'm going to make sure Tyler's okay. I walk in his room, he is in bed with his grandmother. I said, Tyler, are you out of your mind? What are you thinking? He said, yeah, it's not so funny when it's your mom, is it, Dad? Yeah. We're talking now. So anyway, what we have tonight, we have 9 comedians. Cost you $10. That's $1.18 worth of entertainment. You can see what you got for the first one, so it can only get better from here. So seriously, 9 comedians. You're in for a really fun show. I am thrilled, really, honestly, that you guys all came. So let's bring up your first person tonight. God damn it! I forgot my piece of paper. First name. Dana. I bring up Dana. She is from Helium. She works at Helium all the time. It's Dana Sharon Tontic. Big round of applause.
Keep going for your hosts, everybody. For yourselves, for braving the future snowstorm that thankfully hasn't started yet. Nice, that was good. Good audience in here, good mix of people. I always love asking this for all audiences. Any dog owners out there? Yeah? Nice. Pretty much every hand was raised. We're like, of course. You can call out for this part. What kind of dogs do you have?
GSP.
GSP?
German short-haired
Pointer. Okay. All right, that's German. Okay, that's a new one. Nice. What else we got?
little black dog.
Little black dog. Okay. What else we got?
Wire fox terrier.
Well, you guys are like very specific. That you're like 30% German Shepherd, 25%. You've done the whole genealogy. Nice. All right. What else? What other kind of dogs? Come on.
Mutt.
Mutt. Love it. You guys are quiet now. You're like, she's gonna say something mean. This is not. Hey, you guys are better. One time I said that and someone was like dead. I was like, all right, we don't have to bring it down, man. All right. I had a dog myself. She was a rescue, a Doberman. I'm a good person. Thank you. Did you guys know that dogs can get anxiety?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Yeah? All right. Well, you didn't need to say it like that. I found out my dog had anxiety, so I took her to the vet. And the vet actually prescribed trazodone for her. Yeah, some of you are nodding, laughing. Yeah. Trazodone is a human medication. It's manufactured in a human pharmaceutical plant. It's for people. It's just that dogs can take it. And I didn't want her to go through this alone. Yeah, I gotta tell you guys now, neither of us pee in the house. I'm also single. Yeah, I was seeing a guy last year. It was going really well. He only tried to break up with me twice. Right? Yeah, try and break up with me once. Shame on you. Try and do it twice. I might be codependent, actually. Might be me. And I date, and I like to think I'm attractive, you know. I know I'm not a supermodel, but I've been followed by a white van. Anybody here try dating apps at some point, been on them? A little bit, yeah. Yeah, all right. Nice, some sad claps. All right. Totally fair. See, I think the problem with dating apps is it's hard to match with somebody, right? When you're on them, you have to go through a lot of people. It doesn't really match you with somebody you have a lot in common with. And I was thinking, I think a much better option would just be if Netflix had a dating feature, right? I mean, they wouldn't even have to change their setup. You could just scroll, see what guys are trending. See one you like, add them to your watch list, you know? I mean, it could even recommend ones like, hey, we think you and Jeff are an 87% match. And then if it doesn't work out with Jeff, you could scroll down to the because you like Jeff section. And then you see the show Bridgerton, and you're like, I think I'll watch that instead. I do have a friend, though, who has had a lot of luck on dating apps. She found a guy she really likes. And I asked her, well, what is it about him that's so great? She goes, he just makes me feel like I'm at home. And I grew up with divorced parents and no air conditioning. I was like, he makes you sweaty and uncomfortable? I don't know. She was like, no, I feel comforted and loved. I was like, oh, so not like stale goldfish crackers and abandonment. Somebody can relate. So I was trying to think, you know, if I met a guy, how would I want him to make me feel? How would I want to feel? And I thought about it, and I want a guy that makes me feel like I'm at a luxury hotel, right? It's kind of fancy, it's a little nice, and I could steal from it. Yeah, plus I could have a different one in every city. Yeah, I'm not a slut, I'm a rewards member. There we go, all right, fellow rewards member, love it. I like to say that I was raised on the cusp of white trash. Does that make sense? Some of you. By that I just mean that my parents grew up in a rougher neighborhood and they moved my sister and I out of it. So I ended up going to school with kids that would get brand new cars on their 16th birthday. But I had an uncle that could steal them. You know, we were the kind of white trash that we had the above ground pool. Yeah, and anytime my cousins came to visit, I had to fish lighters out of it. I like to check too, are you guys okay with the term white trash? Is that, yeah, like it? Okay. I check because sometimes we get rid of words, we recycle them, we use different ones. And I wanted to be prepared in case they got rid of white trash. They tried to get rid of it. So I did come up with some options. So you guys want to hear them? All right, I'll go through them quick. Option 1, Caucasian detritus. All right, we like that one. I've done that at one show, and a lady's like, I can't say that drunk. And I was like, I think it works. All right, option 2, melanin deficient rubbish. All right, pondering that one. All right. Like that one has layers. I like it. All right. So we had Caucasian detritus, melanin deficient rubbish. Option 3, NASCAR fans. Is that... All right. Thank you so much. I'm Dana Sherratonchik. Give it up for your host.
One more round of applause for Dana. Nice set. Our next comedian has been doing this for 36 years. She has more credits than I have time to tell you, and she has made more people laugh from all over the world than I have more time to tell you. So I'd love to give a big round of applause for Miss Mary Frances Connelly.
Let's hear it for Glenn and for Dana. They're funny. Come on. Philly comedy is the best comedy. I am Mary Frances Connelly, and tell me the truth. When you heard my name, how many of you expected a nun to walk up and say, oh, I hated my name growing up because when I was a little kid, I wanted to grow up and be a movie star. I could see my name in lights. Katharine Hepburn, Betty Davis, Mary Frances Connelly. No way. When I was a little kid growing up in a little town called Evertown, everybody was ethnic. Mary Alice, Mary Agnes, even the boys, Mary David, Mary Michael. Thank God that trend is over. None of my girlfriends named their daughter Mary Tamika. Oh my God, you're too white to get that. I was so mad at my mom when I was a kid. Mom, I want to grow up and be a movie star. Why'd you name me for a dumb nun? Honey, I named you Mary Frances because you were a miracle. Mother of God, I actually was. Wait till you hear this. My mom and dad married each other 2 completely separate times. First time, they got married during the Depression. My brothers were born, the twins, a year later. And a year after that, for a whole variety of reasons, my mom and dad separated for 17 years and then got back together. Oh, it gets more dramatic. 3 different doctors tell my mother, Mrs. Connelly, you cannot have another child. You won't make it, and God knows what will happen to the baby. Now, my mom was Irish. She going to listen to a mere doctor? No. She went home, had a big glass of ginger ale, because the Irish cure to all illness on earth is a good strong burp with a Hennessy chaser. You knew that was coming, right? And she used real Irish medicine. She prayed. To the Blessed Mother, to St. Francis Cabrini, I was born. I beat the odds. My mother named me Mary Frances to honor the Mother of God, and my friends all call me MF. Man, when I was born, my mom was 43 years old. My dad was 47. My brothers were 20. It was like being raised by wizards. I felt like Mary Frances Potter. And typically Irish, you can't get away from your ethnic background. My two brothers, Michael was the older by 3 minutes, grew up, got married, had the 6 kids. So of course, my other brother became a priest. And I hated all that religion when I was a kid. I was a typical Irish kid running around naked, eating leaves. I was 14. I had to do something to attract those Italian boys. Where's all the Italians? I know we're near Italians because we're near Ardmore. There's like no Italians here. Thank God. Valentino, that's beautiful. I love it that you did this. We Irish don't have a. Oh yeah, this is ours. But now I have. Where's the Irish? I know you're here now. Let me see the Irish. Where's the Irish? 33rd County of Ireland. I knew you'd be here in our Havertown. I'm not proud of this. To this day, Irish people pick on Italians. We save our worst punishment for you. We marry you. And you know that first fight, Irish wife, Italian husband. Hey, babe, go get me my beer. Oh, that's funny, Stenod. No, honey, that's not how it works in our house. You get your own beer. Or better yet, you know what? Call your mother. She'll get it for you. She only lives next door. Now, you Irish, did you have what I had, a great mom, but she couldn't cook? Oh, my God. My mother was the worst cook. God love her. She'd cook the meat till it was leather. The vegetables, beautiful green vegetables, boil them till they're white. Thank God for Italians. First time I ate at my best Italian friend's house, I was like 10. I come running home. Mom, Italian people. Mom, their food, it had this thing. They call it flavor. I was telling you about my brother, the priest. It was great growing up with a brother priest. By the time I hit high school, when I was a kid at Cardinal O'Hara, it's just when I say that in other places, everyone's like, huh? That's great. When I went to Cardinal O'Hara, let me tell you what it was like, girls. It was so awesome back then. Saturday night, the drive-in. Guys, I'm really sorry to tell you this, but it was total girl sex. Awesome. You just humped the guy for like hours through the whole double feature. He's turning blue, you're in heaven. No diseases, no pregnancy, no dick itch. It's perfect. Here I was, 16, a brother 36. He'd pull up on Saturday night in his black LTD priest cop car, take me and my date to the drive-in. I'd jump all over him in the back seat. When I got done with him, I just pulled that little curtain aside. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. That never happened. It's a joke. But guys, if it's not too late, I know we have some single people here. It seems like all the comics. Yeah, I'm single. Dating's a lot of fun when you're my age. And the thing is, I like younger guys. I used to be a cougar. Now I'm a saber-tooth. You know, and I do like younger men, but they send you dick pics. What am I supposed to say to that? Oh, love your vein. It's repulsive. But don't ever date or marry a Catholic woman. A Catholic girl's idea of kinky sex is to wear socks to bed. Toeless. Catholic girl tries bondage, she'll use Velcro. And Catholic women hate oral sex. We are so tired of kneeling. Ugh. I thought somebody would say, then lie down. It's not our fault we're weird about sex. we Catholics. It was the nuns and priests. God love them, they meant well. But you know what they told us. You never have sex till after the first baby. I have a child now. I did my Easter duty. I have a terrific daughter, Alexis, married 16 years to a great guy, believe it or not. Don't tell him that if you ever meet him. Irish mother-in-law, you have to make fun of him all the time to keep him in line. I mean, that's how it is. And you know, in our culture, we had 800 years of occupation. They're still in the North, the British. And they took our language, and we weren't allowed to practice our religion. It went on and on and on. And we had our names. We came out of the famine carrying our names. My last name from my father, Connelly, it means first in battle. First in battle. Now my beautiful hand-raised daughter, Alexis. Her name is Alexis Stanifucking-Shesky. I think that's how it's pronounced. No one tells you it's great to get old. It's fun. You have freedom. I can sleep till noon or until my cat gets up. It's great. I'm like a teenage boy with Social Security income. Yes, I wear bifocals, but I think that gives me a distinct dating advantage with these younger men. They're all terrified that their dick is too small. Go out with me, I can't see the damn thing. Oh, you're so well, huh? Oh, that's your beer. Oh. Yeah, the best of all, the freedom I have, ladies, I can fart in the supermarket. I apologize if anyone is offended. Avoid the Aldi in Coatesville. I always have a quarter in my pocket. But before I get out of here, one last thing. The freedom I have. I can have sex with anyone, and no one is going to call me a slut. Think about it. Tonight you leave here and you see two people going at it in the middle of Eagle Road. You'll be like, oh, that's just... Oh, it's Mary Fran, have fun. Thanks for coming out. Good night now. Thank you.
Mary Francis, one more round. All right, so I'm keeping my notes up here on this one. Our next comedian, his name is Lakshmanarayan Balis Subramanian. When Mark sent me this dude's name, I thought my computer got one of those new suggested insane passwords. Okay. I think this guy is responsible for half of the Starbucks baristas quitting on site. What I want to do is bring up this guy, very, very funny man, and a gentleman. Please bring up Lakshmi.
I'm not a dirty comic, but I can't stop thinking about Mary running around naked. Hey, Vitan, how are you tonight? Thank you all for coming out. I see Larry David's in the house. I hope I get cast on his next show. My name is Lakshmi, and I am from New Jersey. No, it is a really hard time to be an Indian in the US because everywhere I go, everybody's asking me, Lakshmi, do you own a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts? That's where I draw the line. I came to this country with a higher purpose. I own a liquor store. Well, think about it. Business goes bad, I burn down the store and walk away with insurance money. I also moonlight at an Indian restaurant on the weekends, and my day job is tech support. I'm kind of there you go, absolutely, right? Like I'm trying to check as many boxes as possible. Right. Because we hold these truths to be self-evident. that all Indians are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, among those being the right to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of gas stations, convenience stores, motels, and tech support. I spent the whole afternoon trying to memorize the Constitution. You know what my biggest fear right now is? What if all Americans figure out how to fix your own computers? Millions of Indians will go out of work. So the next time you're talking to my cousin, when you call tech support, please be kind. Don't be mad. You know, one of the things I found really difficult when I moved from India to the US was the amount of choice in this country. Growing up in India, if I wanted milk, I went to the store, I got milk. The first time I went to buy milk in the US, I was late for work. I was staring at that milk aisle for 30 minutes, and I had parked in a 15-minute spot. It's all good now, it's all good. I've lived in this country for 18 years. I recently became an American citizen. Thank you, thank you. That's usually my one guaranteed applause break for the 5 minutes. You know, one of the hardest things for me being an Indian in the US was celebrating my own wedding anniversary. Because I was married on 9/11. It felt wrong to go into the grocery store and order cake. So I did the right thing. I left my wife. But by far the hardest thing about being me is my own name. Because as Glenn was bravely trying to attempt, my name is Lakshmi Narayan Balasubramaniam Jr. You know how hard it is? I signed up for a credit card. They sent me 2. I had terrible credit on the first. I have excellent credit on the other now. You guys ever wonder why every single year an Indian wins the National Spelling Bee? Because we spend roughly the first 10 years of our lives learning how to spell our own names. Thank you guys, that's my time. You guys have been fantastic. Please give it up for Glenn and enjoy the rest of this night.
Middle name is Oneg Shabbat, if anyone's wondering. All right, we are going to bring up a very special guest to our stage. He does this, only does this once a year, so you're in for a big treat. Maybe. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please, huge, come on, loud, 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 loud. For Mark Lipsky.
You promised the applause would laugh until you left the stage.
I also promised they would laugh at my set. Here we go.
Thanks, guys. You're welcome to stand there the whole time and just
stand right in front of you.
I'll work around you.
Let's go that way.
Cool.
So let's do this.
And I'm gonna come up this way and a half hour later.
That's what he wants to do.
Well, then that's where we'll be. Hey, gang! It's still Saturday, right? Okay, it's great to see you all. And yeah, there's one guy looking at me like, hell, this guy's not gonna do stand-up, is he? Son of a bitch. No, I'm not gonna do stand-up. I am going to sit here and I'm gonna talk you through what the hell happened in 2025, the year in review. So the year started with Donald Trump being sworn in at his inauguration, and we should have known we were in trouble when instead of putting his right hand on the Bible, he balled it into a fist and cold-cocked Joe Biden. This was not a good start. He then assembled his cabinet. RFK Jr., Health and Human Services. Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War. Pam Bondi, Attorney General. And Kash Patel, head of the FBI. And understudy for Michael Keaton in Beetlejuice 2. Trump also recruited his billionaire buddy Elon Musk to head a new department called DOGE, which wasn't a department at all, it wasn't real, it wasn't authorized. They just started doing shit. He took a chainsaw to everything, cut programs, jumped around like a 6-year-old, gave a Nazi salute, that was big, and somehow we were all okay with that. Trump didn't have a problem with any of this until he brought his 4-year-old to the Oval Office. And the 4-year-old walked right up to President Trump and said, "What are you doing at my daddy's desk?" And Elon disappeared shortly after that. Wow, the Academy Awards, the Oscars. What can I say about the Oscars other than I didn't watch the Oscars? But I did watch this game, Super Bowl 59. 1 Saquon leaping, 11 tushes pushing, 6 catching daggers, and a Super Bowl MVP. Philly took home its second Lombardi trophy, and how sweet was that? Not so sweet on the other side of the field. Travis Kelce was very sad. So he promptly proposed to Taylor, who swiftly said yes. And Taylor then put out a brand new album, The Life of a Showgirl, which contained a track called Wood. This is true. There is a track on this album called Wood that she has revealed is her love schlong to Travis's most private of parts. Thank you. That was a genuine laugh. You're still going over there. Also on that album was another track called Would Not. Yes, that is my high school graduation picture from Pablo Escobar High. Really high. Speaking of Mexico, we had a bunch of other changes this year with the new administration. The Gulf of Mexico became the Gulf of America. The Mexican hat dance became the American hat dance. And Mexican men disappeared. Trump sent angry white people out to cities all over the country, arresting anyone with a darker pigmentation than him. I mean, at least when Al Jolson made up his makeup like this, the band could sing. So from coast to coast, people were rounded up, arrested, and deported. From LA all the way to the climactic showdown at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Forbes released their top 25 colleges of the year. The usual suspects at the top, Penn at number 10. Way to go, Linda. Shout out. And my favorite on this list is Rice at number 12. So whenever I see in football season Rice beats Navy or Army, I think, what are the warlords of China thinking that our military could lose to a common side dish? By the way, it's a side dish that the Chinese have in much greater supply than we do. I thought that would be a bigger laugh. What can I say about the 2025 Grammys other than I didn't see the 2025 Grammys? The Phillies had a mighty and majestic season, a lot of fun to watch. Unfortunately, they lost in the first round of the playoffs to the LA Dodgers. The Dodgers won the World Series, defeating the Toronto Blue Jays. And the Blue Jays got to the World Series by beating the New York Yankees. You still with me? So the Yankees were defeated by the Blue Jays, which just goes to prove once and for all, a BJ is better than a Yank. T-shirt of the year. A lot of folks were highlighted in national stars. We had Schwarber, we had Sanchez, Johan Duran, our closer, the tarantula. But the Philly that got the most notoriety coast to coast this year, Philly's Karen. She confronted a fan of the stands, stole the home run ball that she said was rightfully hers, and then she went on a manic spree. She pulled the same stunt on Sesame Street. She stole the bowl from the Berenstain Bears. She went to Jim's Steaks and stole cheesesteaks. Wawa hoagies were not safe. And finally, she disrupted a national dog frisbee championship with my favorite meme of the year. Look at that dog's eyes. The best ever. Best ever. All right. And our favorite Halloween costume for those of you who had no other choice, you could put that together yourself. All right. Netflix House just opened recently in the King of Prussia Mall. It is the first of its kind in America. It's basically like a fantasy entertainment zone based on Netflix shows. And just go right up those stairs and Stranger Things, Wednesday, all the great stuff. It's a really exciting place to visit unless you're in a wheelchair. We'll do one more here. And also, I missed out on the whole 6-7 thing this year, right? It's like 6, 7, 6, but I can't lift. I'm paralyzed on the right side, so I can't do 7. So I'm doing like 6, 6, 6. Like I'm Satan's cheerleader or something. Speaking of Satan, Vice President Cheney kicked the bucket this year. He's shown here entertaining a child on a Make-A-Wish trip. Cheney he couldn't make it through surgery after his left hand was surgically removed from his face. His family was really upset on the outside, but on the inside, yeah. Speaking of things that wouldn't go away, the Epstein files. Holy crap, all year, and I'm not going to spend much time on this. Trump spent the whole year denying any affiliation with Epstein, but there was one great light moment in the whole story when this came out. Trump's hand-drawn birthday card to Jeffrey Epstein, which when you think about it is a pretty humiliating way to find out your daddy sends birthday cards. In San Antonio, a wax museum had to pull the Donald Trump wax figure. You heard this, because visitors were punching it. I didn't write that. I'm just reporting it. That's freaking precious. Trump also reported this year that he's going to donate once again his entire $400,000 salary to charity. This is charity. Trump also demolished the East Wing of the White House with plans to put up a $300 million ballroom. We went to sleep one night, woke up the next day, no East Wing. And Trump was promptly sued by Kim Jong-un for stealing his plans to demolish the White House. Also in North Korea, and this is true, this is crazy, if you are caught attempting committing suicide and you fail, you can be arrested and put to death. Those who were detained for having failed at suicide were quoted as saying, thanks? The Emmy Awards, what can I... No, okay. We'll just jump. In Iowa, Des Moines, Iowa, McDonald's opened their first ever all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet. True story, $12.99, all-you-can-eat, right next door at Omaha Mercy Hospital. They introduced their first all-you-can-survive surgery package for anything you can handle in one day. I went just for the propofol. Also, this year, McDonald's on November 11th announced the return of the McRib, its sloppy pig sandwich. On November 12th, hospitals across America announced the return of overcrowded waiting rooms. Trump, speaking, I won't do that segue. He lost his shit on US One, on US Airways. Air Force One, one of those planes. He lost his stuff when a reporter asked him about the Epstein files, and he accused her with a big finger and said, "Quiet, piggy." And I'm sorry that it changed directions. He was on the, well, to clarify, the guy on the left called the woman on the right piggy. And you think he'd be healthy as heck, because, you know, all he does is eat right, exercise, and gets plenty of sleep. God, I wish our president was awake to yell at the president for falling asleep. That would be justified. Falling asleep permanently. The penny. Bye-bye. The very last United States penny was minted last month right here in Philadelphia, not here at the Kelly Center, in Philly. They say the penny no longer has worth. So now when a politician tells you a penny for your thoughts, he's letting you know you don't have shit to say to him. Oh, the Aurora Borealis sunspot activity brought the northern lights to much of the northern hemisphere this fall. Beautiful pictures, beautiful lights, posted everywhere on Facebook. I didn't actually see them, but I just don't like being left out. No. Finally, Zohran Mamdani became the first ever Muslim mayor of New York City. All through the campaign, Trump attacked, calling the Democratic Socialists a communist. But once the campaign ended and Trump saw what Mamdani had done, best friends, had him to the White House where they laughed and touched and cajoled. And if any of you single people, if you're still looking for love, find someone who looks at you the way Donald Trump looks at Zohran Mamdani. Which brings us to this time of year, the magical time of year, and I have my usual challenge of, do I go with Christmas wrapping paper or Hanukkah wrapping paper? I never know which. I'm always going to offend somebody. What do I do? What do I do? This year, I figured it out. I went with a wintry motif and got wrapping paper that said, "Let it snow. Let it snow." So who could possibly be offended by my wrapping paper that says, "Let it snow"? And as we sit here on December 13, 12 days out from Christmas Day, that 12 Days of Christmas song is going to be popping up. I don't know the words, so you guys are stuck with the 8 Nights of Hanukkah. Here we go. On the 8th night of Hanukkah, my true love gave to me 8 spinning dreidels, 7 used mezuzahs, 6 poppy bagels, 5 ways to spell Hanukkah and still be correct. 4 fringe of talas, 3 cornered pastries, they're called hamantash and board from another holiday called Purim. 2% cash back, and some kosher wine no one is gonna drink. Happy holidays, everybody. Thank you.
Mark Lipsky, come on. All right, quick joke while we're getting them out. Okay? Putin, Gandhi, Netanyahu, all at a peace summit. After the peace summit, they're driving back to the hotel. The car breaks down. They see a farmhouse up the road, so they knock on the guy's door. The farmer says, "Listen, you guys can sleep here, but I only got 2 beds here, so one of you are going to have to sleep in the barn." So Gandhi, being Gandhi, says, "No problem. I'll sleep in the barn." So he goes to the barn. 10 minutes later, there's a knock on the door. It's Gandhi. "What's the matter?" He says, "Listen, there's a cow in the barn. Where I come in, the cows are sacred, so I cannot sleep in the barn with the cow." So Netanyahu from Israel says, "No problem. I'll sleep in the barn." So he goes to the barn. 10 minutes later, there's a knock on the door. It's Netanyahu. "What's the matter?" He goes, "Listen, there's pigs in the barn. Where I go, the pigs aren't kosher, so I cannot sleep in the barn with the pigs." So Putin, being the last one left, says, "No problem. I'll sleep in the barn." So he comes to the barn. 10 minutes later, there's a knock on the door. It's the cow and the pig. So let's see what we got here. Our next comedian comes all the way from Delaware. She spent years as a high school teacher in Lower Delaware, which means stand-up is actually the easiest room she'll probably ever work. After surviving teenagers for decades, this room is basically a day spa. She performed in 12 states and 2 countries and still came back to Delaware. That's either bad commitment or bad GPS. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause. Big, come on, loud. Miss Nancy Burkett.
Oh, I can't believe I had to follow Mark. Oh my gosh. Give it up for Mark. That was so creative. Very unique. Very unique. Yeah. And I'm like Mary Frances. I am totally enjoying this age I'm in. I am on my adventure before dementia. Anybody with me? Yeah, you're on that ride with me too. You know, I go to a lot of shows and I work with young comics and they say, "Oh, Nancy, are you on TikTok? Are you on Instagram?" And I'm like, "No, baby, I'm on Medicare." And Social Security. Sometimes they're a little dismissive, little jerks, and they're like, "Oh, she's old." But you know, I've got free health care and a monthly check, so who's the hot chick now? I was on a show last week with this young guy, and he was out there on stage and telling all of his stories about cocaine and weed and this Gen Zer, you know, Molly and all that stuff, and his crickets in the audience. He comes off stage all dejected. I get up here and I look, and it is my people. You know, like the AARP tribe? We're kind of there, aren't we? Yeah. I grabbed that microphone and I said, "Metformin, gabapentin, baby aspirin." I killed, okay? I absolutely killed. Sure, it was a drug crowd. You just got to know what kind of drugs. I really brought the house down when I mentioned Lipitor. That was just like... All right, so holidays here. You got your shopping done? Almost. Yeah, I got mine all done, which means I can shop for me, which is good because I have an online shopping addiction. And these boxes show up at my house all week. You want to guess what's stamped on those boxes? You know what I'm talking about, right? What am I talking about? Online shopping? Amazon? No, Temu. Do any of you know, where is Team Temu? Do I have any of you out here? Oh, I'm going to bring you over to the dark side, okay? It is a just amazing company and millions and millions of products at crazy low prices. I don't know if it's pronounced Temu or Tamu, but I do believe in Chinese it's translated to English as "we're going to put Amazon the hell out of business," because those prices are crazy, absolutely crazy. See these earrings? You like, ladies? These are nice earrings, aren't they? I got them for 12 cents. Yeah, true. And people say, "Oh, don't do that, Temu, because they're going to get into your bank account." That's what they really want to do. Okay. All right, I can do that. Oh, you know what else they say? The tariffs. Okay, those tariffs are going to be through 100% tariffs. Okay, 24 cents. You still like them? You still like them? You know, 12 cents, I can give that up. I'm fine. And you know what? I feel like really whatever that is. I teach Spanish. We don't have that word in Spanish. Why not? Because, you know, 12 cents is nothing to me. And what would that be to someone who works in the Temu factory, that 12 cents? That's time and a half is daily pay. So that's pretty good. I think that's all right. So there's nothing you can't find. This is real. This is real. I paid 83 cents for it. I know it's real because it was stamped Starling Sliver. So, I mean, it's gotta be real, okay? And like I said, you can find anything on there. I just ordered a cement mixer, okay? There is truly a cement mixer on the Temu website. And I did get that because I have just bought a new home. I just built one in October, and I want to put a little patio out. You know, I'm downsizing, and so now I've got a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house. I bought it on Temu for $37.94. It's amazing. So yeah, I mentioned they're trying to get into your bank account, and I said, well, that's okay. I'm a teacher. There's not much in there. I don't care. Go for it. But leave me $8.43 because I have my eye on a 2-car garage. So I'm dieting during the holidays, unfortunately, because I found out in July that my high school reunion is happening in March, and it's a big one, and I'm not going to be the big one walking in the door. So I had been dieting for 6 months, and you know what I've lost? I've lost 6 months. That's what I've lost. Yeah. So I went to Planet Fitness. I know you have them up here. I'm from Lower Delaware. And you get a trainer as soon as you get there on your first visit, which was great. And he told me that after an exercise session, you are supposed to have a little rest period, right? But apparently 3 years is a little excessive for that rest period. So I said, all right, let's do this. And he says, okay, we're going to start. And after 15 minutes, I was huffing and puffing. And I told him, Coach, you are not kidding. This is really, really hard. And he went, Nancy, that was just a tour of the gym. I bought a bicycle from Temu, $5.12. And the seat on it is this big. And let me tell you, that seat is not shy, okay? I took a 10-mile bike ride and got a pap smear. Yeah. My friend said, I think we can go find a seat that's more suited for you. So she took me to Tractor Supply. So apparently I got my friend from Temu as well. I did. But the problem is I have already bought the dress. Now, ladies, you heard that, the dress. I didn't say a dress. There's a difference between a dress and the dress. I've already got the dress. So this morning I got on the scale, and you know, my goal was to lose 40 pounds. And so far I only have 45 more to go. And I crunched the numbers this morning. What do I have to do to exercise? How much do I have to, you know, not eat? And I am determined. I'm absolutely determined to get a bigger dress. Definitely get a bigger dress. Yeah. So I'm going to be spending the holidays alone. My kids are all going away. So I got nobody because I'm not seeing anybody. And I understand there's a lot of single people coming around over that size. But anyway, dating in my age group is a little troublesome. Like the guys, the single guys that I meet, they haven't quite evolved. You know, they think they have game, but it's more like a game that you got at the thrift store. There's always a piece missing in those games, right? Like I had a guy invite me over for lunch, and he said, come on over. And the table was set beautifully with real tablecloth, flowers and candles. I was very impressed. And he said, our lunch is being catered. It will arrive shortly. It was Meals on Wheels. Which, by the way, was pretty good. I'm going to have to sign up for that. So living where I live, it is kind of hard to meet guys, and sometimes I feel I just need to dial it down to digits like guys did back in the day. And you'll know what I'm talking about, those digits that guys were looking for in women, 36, 24, 36. That was the perfect woman, right, gentlemen? So I have digits in mind for my perfect man, 85, 95, 105. And when I meet Mr. Right, I will marry him in a heartbeat. My next husband will be 85 years old with $95 million and 105 temperature. I won't have to shop at Temu anymore, will I? Thank you very much. I'm Nancy Burkett.
Nancy Burkett. You guys having a good time? All right. This next comedian, I've seen him here a couple times. I don't know if anybody else has, but you're in for another treat. He describes his comedy as aging boomer lamentation, award-winning self-deprecation, and more than a hint of Jewish. He's lived 10 minutes from the Kelly Center for decades and somehow has never been considered Havertown's favorite son. Aw. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Perry Block.
Give it up for Glenn. Well, it's holiday time. Happy holidays, everybody. But it's a strange time of the year for us Jews. By the way, Jews here? Yeah. That's not great. When I say that line in Brooklyn, the place erupts like it's Times Square on New Year's Eve. But it's strange. Christmas celebrates the birth of the greatest guy in history. He heals the sick. He raises from the dead. Fantastic hair, great beard. Who wouldn't love him? Hanukkah is about a lamp. I have 5 or 6 of them in my house right now, and I don't worship them. And the miracle, a lamp that's supposed to stay lit for a little while longer, stays lit for a little while longer. Quite frankly, the true miracle of Hanukkah is that anyone gives a shit about the miracle of Hanukkah. There are a lot of mature comics here, which is terrific. I might be the oldest, though. I am 75 years old. Thank you. Oh, don't applaud. No, I didn't do anything except not die. But it's tough. I'm shrinking. I didn't count on that. I met an old family friend a few weeks ago, and she said, Perry, I haven't seen you in so long. I remember you when you were this tall. And we boomers, we're behind the curve on generations now because there's Gen Z, there's millennials, there's Gen X, and then us, that's 3. We're not even in the money anymore. You couldn't bet on us. Frankly, you do better on betting on the Phillies not blowing it this year. And we do not know the names of current celebrities. I know I don't. Back in our day, celebrities had clearly discernible names like Frank Sinatra. And I say this on bended knee. John, Paul, George, Ringo. First time I heard the name Kendrick Lamar, I thought it was an insurance company. Then someone said The Weeknd, and I said, gee, I hope it was lovely. The Hamptons? And then I heard Shabuzi, and I said, Gesundheit. And I love saying that now, Shabuzi. Would you say it with me one time? 1, 2, 3, Shabuzi! And then they have those retrospectives during award shows, all the celebrities who died during the year. That's tough for us boomers. I'm always thinking, oh my God, he died. He was 15 years younger than I am. She died. I used to masturbate to her. In fact, I masturbated to her last night. But one thing is a consolation, having a dog. I have a dog, my dog Bruno. Dogs? Dog people? Dana asked about the dog people. If dogs could only talk, even at a 2-year-old level, nobody would have kids. Why would you want them? I've had kids and I've had dogs, and dogs are better. A dog, you don't have to pay for college. They won't grow up and leave you. And no dog is going to run off and marry some asshole dog you don't approve of who doesn't even have a job. Well, mature comics. I wish I could tell jokes like the younger comics, talking about sex and women and orgasms and puss. I don't know if I can say it at my age. Puss. puss. Oh, I wish I could. No, I wish I could talk about those things now, but my memory's not that good. Okay, folks, I realize I'm not that fucking funny. But there's a reason, because as a Jew, I believe in the 10 Commandments, especially the one that says, thou shalt not kill. So when it comes to comedy, I don't. Thanks, everybody. Shabuzi! Harry Block.
Hurry Block. Oh. Hurry Block. All right, are we ready for our headliner? Let's try that again. Are we ready for our headliner? Yeah. You guys are in for a huge treat. This guy coming up now is actually one of my favorite comedians working today. He wrote for Lily Tomlin. He wrote for Betty White. He wrote episodes of Boy Meets World. He wrote for The Tonight Show. Nothing? Come on. And most impressive, a winner on The Gong Show. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite people, Miss Steve Young.
I'm really excited to be here. I want to let you know, unfortunately, I wasn't even thinking, and before I came on stage, I took a couple extra placebo, and now I feel exactly the same. That's a medical joke. Are you a medical person? Then shut up. Look, I watched every comedian. Weren't they good? All the comedians. All right. Yeah. So, I wrote a lot of stuff for tonight, and then I watched them, and I gotta be honest with you, their material was so much better than what I wrote, and so I figured instead of wasting your time and mine on my crap. I'll just do theirs again. And I really hope it works, because you laugh at their stuff. So, okay, here we go. Welcome to the Kelly Center. And the first snow. It's not here. So, I'm Tom Kelly, and Kelly Center helps people with disabilities, and I am a special needs person, mostly sex. I'm also Amanda. Stella's helping me out tonight. We have a lot of jams here, mostly strawberry. Okay. Glenn had 300 straight days of sobriety. I have 36 years of sobriety. You're applauding boredom. And I'm still doing a lot of crack. In our meetings in Levittown, from Levittown, our meetings, when we applaud when somebody celebrates, we applaud like this. It's like they can't see their hands. I don't know. I must have made them blind. But I had to get sober, because they say if you keep drinking, you wake up with ugly people. And I was so tired of being an ugly person, so I stopped. But the kicker, the thing that really stopped me, was one night I got so loaded, I walked into an Olive Garden. I thought it was an Italian restaurant. So Glenn had 37 years of the same sex here. I like makeup sex, but my girlfriend refuses to fight with me. I have teens having sex with their bubbies jokes, but no way I'm taking that chance. Any cat owners here? I see it right there, hiding. I rescued a cat about 3 months ago. I never had a cat before, but they're supposedly, they take care of themselves and all. And at the rescue place, they gave me food, a litter, a pan, and litter and all that stuff. And about 3 months later, the rescue called and said, "So how's the cat doing?" I said, "I don't know. He's kind of ornery." And he said, "Well, how often do you clean out his litter box?" And I said, "We're supposed to clean out the litter box?" No wonder whenever I would get near that litter box, the cat would go. That was my acting like a cat. By the way, Dana, I have a white van. It's filled with little kids, but maybe, it's like an instant family. But she goes on these days. I can't go on the dating apps. I'm the oldest one here tonight. I'm older than all those old comics, and I can't go on, like Tinder and all that stuff. I go on hospicehose.com. I mean, really, if you just think about it, if they want a commitment, okay, what? I mean, what's it going to be? 3 weeks? And dinner with an Ensure and Reich toast. It's not going to be bad. And the best part of it, no teeth. And we at the senior center, we play the game 76, 77, 76, 77. So I'm Steve Young, but be honest, when I came up here, I bet you thought you were expecting a rabbi. Okay. I asked my mom why they named me Steve Young, and she said, "Well, when you were born, you were very young." And my parents, they had me, then they split up for 17 years. And then right after 17 years, they died. So guys are sending out these dick pics, I hear, and I gotta tell you, even they don't think we're cool at this age. They don't think that we're cool. And we had dick pics when I was a kid, but we didn't have cameras. So we had to draw our dicks. And I'm Jewish, so I would use Post-it notes to do that. But we were all jealous of the black guys because they would use poster board. First dick pics, I delivered in Philadelphia. Back then, the dicks they drew them on parchment paper. And Paul Revere delivered the first dick pic to Betsy Ross. And Betsy unrolled it and went, "Oh, George Washington. Oh, there's more. Carver. George Washington Carver." As a history joke. Okay. But the diversity here tonight is just great. And being, being a young black man from Havertown, still people would say I'm not black enough. But there's reasons. My mother was white, and my father was white. So I was entitled, but I wanted to be more entitled. and so black girls like me, you know, once you go Steve, you could never leave. That's what they say, and that's because after I have sex with them, I lock them in the basement. That's a true story, by the way. True story. So today I tried to memorize the Constitution, but then I stopped because one day I would like to be president. That's my political joke. Okay, so I was. Yes. Well, they're not mine, they're theirs. So I played hide and seek with Mark, and I won because I ended up hiding in a Netflix house. It's that magical time of year, Christmas, Hanukkah, and if you don't know, Christmas is Hanukkah for Goyim. You know, they usually say it the other way. So, here's the story I made up. Netanyahu, Gandhi, and Putin are driving the car breaks down, right? And so they see this farm, they knock on the door, and a farmer said, you can stay, but you have to sleep in the barn. And let's cut to the chase. Putin fucked the pig. I don't have time for the whole joke. So, you know, I am the oldest comic here. In fact, I opened, so far back, I opened for Winston Churchill at the Yalta Comedy Club. So funny, you know, Winston. You know, I'll make them laugh on the fields. I'll make them laugh on the beaches. Funny man. But you know who was really funny? Stalin. That man, I know he killed millions of his own people, but that man could tell a joke. So how many people here are married? Keep your hands up. You remember your first dates, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Remember your first menage a trois? Because I remember my first one. The other two didn't show up, but I had a great time. Oh, by the way, my pronouns are and, but, and because. I was never good in English like that. So I love the technology today. Perry was talking about masturbating, and it's such an attractive picture on the photo. And I was thinking, you know, that back then, when we were younger, all we had was like the Sears catalog, and you had to go to the lingerie section. But today's technology is great. Today, you have a computer, and all you have to do is type in Sears catalog, lingerie section. Oh, this one. They have these shows in Mexico. I was there for about a month, and they're called donkey shows. So you're familiar with the donkey shows? It's where a donkey has sex with a woman. And yeah, oi. I went, like, I couldn't take it. Like, after 3 hours, I had to leave. And you could tell the donkey was not having fun at all. The woman was not, he wanted to be fucking another donkey like that. Because he was going dyslexic. It was like, ho-hee, ho-hee. Okay. Oh yeah, okay. And being old, this is run of being old jokes. So being old, you know, I don't know about you, but like how old are you?
Not supposed to ask a woman her age. Come on now.
I'm asking you.
All right, I'm 47.
No. Really? Can you put a spot on her? I mean, really, 47. When I was your age, I was already 60. Like that. But, and where you from?
From Ardmore.
Sorry?
Ardmore.
No, I know. I heard you. I was just really sorry about having being wealthy. So, anyway, you know the thing I was going to say that was really going to be funny? No, I forgot it. Oh, okay. So this is what's going to happen when you get older, because you're still pretty young comparatively. Gravity hasn't hit tremendously. One day you're going to wake up, and this is your future. One day you're going to wake up. It's middle of the night, and you're going to, I have to pee. And you are going to go into the ladies' room, and you're going to sit down, and all of a sudden your balls are going to hit the water. It happens to all of us. And let me just let's tell you, there is a way to fix that. There's a very expensive operation as we're getting older. Okay, like you know they have these operations. You know, like you can see, you know, your neck will go like this. They call it a turkey neck and all that. But and there's creams and there's surgery and all kinds of things, but none of them work. But I have the recommendation for you for a way to handle it. Betty, all you need. Ladies and gentlemen, my girlfriend Betty. All you need is a partner and a stool. First of all, getting rid of the turkey neck. And now the lines on the face. Get out of here. We rehearsed that today, like that, and you did a great job. So now let me go back to the other joke. So I was thinking, yes, I remember that one. I said I don't want to forget that one. She wanted to be in show business, and so I finally gave her the chance. Like that. It's better than cleaning up after the elephants, which is an old joke. So anyway, what they have is an operation where they can take your balls and bring them back up to where they originally were. But that is really even more expensive than the thing for the neck. But here's what I do. I have a slinky. And what I do is I attach my slinky to my balls. And whenever it hits the water, they spring right back up again. Then I take my balls and I put them at the top of the stairways, and I watch them go down the stairways. It is so fun to play with my balls. You want to play with my balls? It's a lot of fun. And you know, really, women have the same thing. When I was married, we had 6 children, and my wife said that she felt like her, what's the medical term? Her hoo-ha didn't seem like a hoo-ha anymore. It seemed more like a swimming pool. And she was so strict. She would not let me run around it. And she would make me wait 30 minutes after I ate her before I was allowed to go in. And the worst part of that is that she closed Labor Day. 1995. Okay, before I leave. Yeah. A much younger girlfriend, that's what I do. And as soon as she gets another year older, I'll be looking again. Oh, only kidding. So I wrote a couple books here. One is Great Failures of the Extremely Successful, Mistakes, Adversity, Failure, and Other Stepping Stones of Success. And in this book, I interviewed one-on-one with many high-profile successful people like Erin Brockovich, Jane Goodall, Teddy Pendergrass, Betty White, Gary Marshall, and a lot of great people. And they all said pretty much the same thing, that despite what people tried to do in holding them back, they still took the risk and were better for it. And this is a true story. When Beethoven was just a child, he was told by his parents that he could not play music because he was deaf. But did he listen? I don't know. It was a long time ago. And they had no recording devices back then. So I can't tell you, but I wanted to read, if you don't mind. This is one paragraph. I think it's really important. Wow, really? And if you want to find out what it says, all you have to do is buy it at the door. And lastly, the Larry David Code, which is a book about Larry's and my relationship, and it does go off into a pretty wacky satire after the true story part of it. And I asked a lot of people who to read the book and to give me comments to make that I could put on the book. And if you don't mind, could you first read the last quote, not the name, but the quote? Loud.
Right. Nah, I don't think it works as a book.
And who said that?
Larry David.
That's right. Larry loved the book. And both of these books will be on sale on the way out. If you want them autographed, another $20. So I really appreciate it. I love coming here. Let's have first of all a hand for the Kelly people. The Kelly people. And my very good friend for many, many years, Mark Lipsky. And the other comics on the bill, because without them, I would not have an act. And a couple of things, if you want to see me a week from Thursday on Jimmy Fallon, please write Jimmy, ask him to book me. I really appreciate that. And lastly, and this is important, we're here to make you laugh and all that stuff. And that's the fun part, but here's how I feel about it. If I am able, through my act, to make only one person laugh tonight, what a shitty show I must have done. Thank you, good night. Thank you, Kelly Center.
All right, you guys have a good time. One more round of applause for all the comedians. Mark Lipsky. And I want to let everybody know there's only one thing in all the world, in 7 continents and 167 identified genders, that we all have in common, and that's the sound of laughter. So no matter what goes on in this world, ladies and gentlemen, please don't ever, ever, ever lose your ability to laugh. Have a great holiday. Thank you all very much. Good night.
All right, thank you, Glenn Freezman, Steve Young, Mark Lipsky, Mary Frances Connelly, and all of our performers. And thank all of you for supporting the performers and the Kelly Center. To support us with a donation, we have cash jars, Venmo, PayPal, credit card, QR codes, or you can go to kellycenter.org and click contribute. Thank you to tonight's student techs, Addie and Jack, and our assistant manager, Stella. They did a wonderful job. Please help us clean up. We have trash and recycling containers by the door as you leave. On behalf of Tom and Sherry Kelly and Paul and Susan Kelly, thank you for joining us tonight. From the Kelly Center for Music, Arts, and Community in Havertown, Pennsylvania, I'm Amanda. Happy holidays, everyone. Stay safe. Play it forward. Careful in the snow if we get it. Good night. Thank you for coming.